Have you ever noticed that the creepiest places are always surrounded by the most beautiful nature? The Oregon coast, gray cliffs, green moss, and water the color of rust. I came here to escape. Escape the noise of Portland, my ex-wife, myself. And that's when I saw the ad, taped to the bulletin board in the general store. Lighthouse Keeper Needed. Cape Broken Hope Lighthouse. Free room. Pay $400 per week. Cash only. Call Elijah. I called. Elijah turned out to be an old man with a voice like gravel crunching under a boot. He said only one strange thing. The main rule, son. You leave the lighthouse before the sun goes down. No exceptions. I laughed. I'm a lighthouse keeper, for God's sake. What's the point of a keeper who leaves before dark? My name is Nate Miller, and I broke that rule on the very first night. Cape Broken Hope Lighthouse sat on a cliff that took 40 minutes to reach down a dirt road cutting through forest where no cell signal dared to reach. The place was alien, beautiful but wrong. Elijah was waiting for me at the entrance. Small, shriveled, with a milky cataract in his left eye. He didn't smile. He just shoved a key and an old kerosene lamp into my hands. Electricity only works on the ground floor. Up in the tower, it's oil lamps only. I filled them. You need to check the mechanism every hour. But remember, Nate, you leave at 7:43, not a minute later. Sunset is at 7:58. You have 15 minutes to reach the keeper's shack by the woods. I asked, what happens if I stay late? Elijah looked out at the ocean, and his one good eye filled with something I mistook for fear. Then you'll hear the bell. And when you hear the bell, it hears you. The first few hours were normal. I climbed the spiral staircase, 183 steps. At the top, it smelled of whale oil, salt, and something metallic. The lighthouse mechanism was ancient, but it ran like a Swiss watch. The Fresnel lens, the size of a small car, rotated with a low, soothing hum. I checked my watch. 7:30 p.m. 28 minutes until sunset. I decided the old man was just crazy. What could possibly happen? A lighthouse is just a tower with a light bulb. I stayed. At 7:43, the exact minute I was supposed to be out the door, the lighthouse beam flickered. For the first time in 100 years, according to the logbook, that mechanism skipped a beat, and then I heard it. Not a bell. Laughter. Children's laughter. Coming from the beach 100 feet below me, where the waves were smashing against razor-sharp rocks. No one could possibly be down there. The tide was too violent. I rushed down to the ground floor. The laughter stopped. In its place was silence. A silence so deep I could hear my own blood moving through my eardrums. I found Elijah's desk. On it lay the keeper's log, leather-bound, worn. I opened it to the last entry. The handwriting was neat, but it trembled at the end of the lines. November 7th. Heard the bell at 3:17 a.m. It doesn't ring from the tower. It rings from under the water. The children on the beach are no longer seen. They've been taken. I will no longer look out the window after sunset. I flipped a page back. There was a newspaper clipping from 1982. The headline, Cape Broken Hope Tragedy. School bus plunges off cliff during storm. Bodies of 10 children never recovered. I closed the journal. My hands were shaking. The clock read 7:58. The sun had set. And then I heard the bell. It wasn't a ring. It was a low bronze hum that came not from above, not from the tower, but from beneath the floorboards, from under the stone foundation of the lighthouse, plunging deep into the cliff and beneath the waves. The water in the toilet bowl trembled. The glass in the windows vibrated. I ran to the window facing the ocean. Moonlight pierced through the clouds, and there, on the black water, I saw them. Lights. Small, green, phosphorescent lights. They were swimming toward the shore. There were 10 of them. They weren't moving randomly like plankton. They moved with purpose, in a neat row, as if someone was holding flashlights underwater and walking toward the cave entrance at the base of the cliff. And then the bell rang again. And this time, it wasn't beneath the floor. It was at the front door. I remembered the entry in Elijah's journal. I will no longer look out the window after sunset. I realized I had already made the mistake. I had looked, and they saw me looking. The green lights stopped right at the edge of the surf, and then I heard their voices, children's voices, distorted by water and time. They were calling for me, not by my name. They called me Keeper. Keeper, come out, play with us. We've been waiting at the bottom for so long. It's so cold down here. We'll show you where the bus is. We'll show you where the one who rings the bell sleeps. The doorknob rattled, not from the wind. It was turning, slowly, as if small, wet, slippery little hands were trying to grip the metal from the outside. I backed toward the staircase. The only way was up, into the tower, toward the light. I ran, 183 steps. I have never run that fast in my life. From below came the sound of the front door creaking open and the wet slap of bare, small feet on the stone floor. 10 pairs of feet. I burst into the lantern room. The mechanism was still working. The light was sweeping. I pressed my back against the warm glass and brass, and that's when I understood the horrible truth. The lighthouse is not a warning for ships. The lighthouse is bait. Old Elijah had said, check the mechanism every hour. The light doesn't attract ships. The light keeps ET from falling asleep. The bell is the heartbeat of the lighthouse, and it only beats when someone is watching. I shut my eyes. I squeezed them shut so hard that stars exploded behind my eyelids. The sound of footsteps on the stairs grew closer, and then silence. I felt a coldness, the icy, grave-like cold of a child's hand touching my cheek. Keeper, open your eyes, or we'll make the bell ring forever. I don't know how I survived until dawn. I stood there, eyes squeezed shut, for 6 hours. For 6 hours, I listened to 10 children whisper nursery rhymes in my ear that they used to sing before they died in 1982. I heard the water dripping from their hair onto the wooden floorboards. When the first ray of sunlight touched my face, everything stopped. I opened my eyes. The room was empty, only wet, small footprints on the dusty stairs leading down and back into the ocean. I went downstairs. The door was wide open. Elijah was sitting in his truck up on the hill. He wasn't asleep. He was just watching me. As I approached, he rolled down the window and said, "You looked, didn't you? Now they know your face. You're the keeper now, Nate, forever. You'll have to come back here every sunset and close your eyes. If you don't come back, the bell will ring in your own home." That's why I'm recording this video, not for views. As a warning, if you ever drive down the Oregon coast and see an old lighthouse at Cape Broken Hope, don't stop. Don't read the Keeper Wanted ads. And for the love of God, if you find yourself there at sunset and see green lights in the water, close your eyes. Shut them tight. Don't look at them. Because if you look, you'll become one of us. A keeper, chained to a tower that feeds not on light, but on curiosity. This has been Nate Miller. I'm heading to my shift now. The sun sets in 20 minutes. I have to close my eyes. And please, if you ever hear a bell ringing in your basement, don't answer it.